Do you avoid your fourth finger? Where am I looking here? There's the All right, so I did a little questionnaire a little while ago, and this was one of the answers. So the question was, what's something you avoid in violin playing because you feel like you're not good enough yet? And the answer was using my fourth finger if it's not absolutely necessary. It's weak, which I notice especially on the top string. So the only way to get stronger at something is by doing it and by using it. We all know this, right? So when I teach beginners, I teach them the fourth finger quite early on. So I wouldn't say from day one because, you know, obviously day one on the violin, we're not even using our fingers, right? There's a lot of other things. By the way, I've just got a little mute on here today. Sometimes, honestly, I find my violin too loud in my ears some days. So this is just a nice little leather one. It kind of falls off. Anyway, by the way, we're talking about fourth finger. So if you find your fourth finger weak, then you just need to use it more. So every single scale, I make my students actually use fourth finger. And the students who have learnt previously elsewhere before coming to me, like typically at a school, in a school program, they typically won't use their fourth finger in a scale, like a D major scale, because it's easier for the teachers at school just to tell them to use their open A probably. I don't know. I guess that's why. But my students who start with me, they always use it, and so it's just very habitual, and they never have a problem with it. They don't freak out about it. So I think when we avoid it, we actually create fear, and we exacerbate that fear by not using it. So the only way to get better and to like not be scared about using it is to actually just use it. So use it in things like your scales. You know, just to help it basically get stronger all the time. So, you know, in pieces, we won't always use the fourth finger because we use what is more appropriate at the time. But something that I did not even realize for many, many years in my violin playing is that my fourth finger would lock. And if you have this problem, it's actually pretty common. So I'm actually having trouble doing it there. It's kind of like that. So where it's actually flat along here and only bent at that last joint there, as opposed to being nice and curled like this. So I don't really, oh, I've got someone watching. Sorry, I actually wasn't looking. Thank you for joining me. I didn't tell anyone I was doing this live. I just jumped in here because that's what I've decided to do. So I can't actually see who's joined me, but thank you for joining me. That's awesome to have someone here. One of the reasons that I like doing these lives is that I don't stuff around trying to edit it out later. So this is the real me. This is what you get. So if your fourth finger does lock and you want to get out of that habit, I don't have any magic trick. I don't remember specifically what I did to help me retrain it. And I will say that sometimes I will find in some occasions it will actually, I'll just be like, oh, it's locked, it's gone like that. But it's really just, you know, a very physical retraining. So really making it curl. So you want to actually get this knuckle here actually needs to be a little bit closer to the fingerboard. So I would just physically, if you can't just get it to do it, if it just keeps doing this, you know, by itself, and get your other hand. I mean, a lot of the times I get students to do this, you know, we'll actually use one hand to help train the other hand because they're just doing a physical thing. This is not music, it's just a sport, right? So we want to actually get that knuckle to push a little bit closer, so you can see like this is not fully locked, okay? So I've got it kind of relaxed, but if I push it, it just goes round because, you know, I'm just physically pushing it and making it more into that shape by pushing that closer to the fingerboard. So you know, just things like that. I mean, at the end of the day, just try things out. Don't be scared to try something weird and wacky if you think it's going to work. On a different topic, but like a weird and wacky thing that one of my little kids at the moment, one of her mum, she might have got it from somewhere else, but I hadn't done this. But to avoid the girl's hand coming up like this, I've changed topics, but this is just a side story. She actually got a pen and she's sticky taped it to the back here so that, you know, the kid feels it, and it seems to be working, you know. So you just try anything out that will actually help. But yeah, above all, like if you want to get your fourth finger stronger, like if you want to get better at anything in life, you just do it. And I'm going to go into a bit of my philosophy, but I endeavor these days to not say the word try, because trying is very effortful. So you just do it. So if you're doing your fourth finger and it's locking or it feels weak, you are doing it. So if you want to do it differently, then you just have to start making it do differently. Don't try to do it differently. Anyway, that's, like I said, a bit of Catherine philosophy there. Also, fourth finger vibrato. So since we're talking about fourth finger, it is very weak for vibrato. So if you're not doing vibrato, you know, so it doesn't matter, but you can still like sort of know this for the future. So because the fourth finger, and the other thing is like fourth finger, if this person's mentioned fourth finger as like a problem thing, yes, it's hard for everyone. Like it's harder than your other fingers. Like my favorite finger to use is my second finger for a lot of things because it's so big and it's got a big squidgy bit on the end, so it's really comfy. It's my favorite for vibrato because it's super, you know, easy compared to the fourth finger. So when I do fourth finger vibrato, I actually don't do it by itself. I put the third finger with it. So again, you just find what works for you. When I'm teaching, there's technique, and yes, we need technique. And I'm thinking right now about like the physical setup technique, but it also comes down to you and your hand and your violin and how it fits in your body, because like everyone has different neck lengths and different bodies and different fingers. You know, in a lot of my content, you'll hear me talking about like my hand shapes that I use, and all of these things, they're only guides, and you need to find, you know, at the end of the day, I think what we're doing when we do many, many things in life is, and in terms of violin, it's a journey of self-discovery, because you're discovering how your body works and how you can work like your body with this thing. So, you know, just find what works for you in that way. That pretty much covers, unless you have a question or a comment, whoever's joined me. Let me see if I can see who this is. I can't see it because it's on my iPad, and I think sometimes it's hard to find things on my iPad. Let me have a look on see if I can see it on my phone. We're kind of at the end here, so like we're just off topic a little bit. Let me have a quick look. Let's see. Will it even, I wonder if it even shows up as me being live. There we go. It shows me as being live. But I don't know who's there. Let's see. Can I join my own live? Let's see. It's hard to find things on my iPad. I can, and it was like a little bit behind. Kathy! There we go. I can see it's Kathy now. Thanks for joining, Kathy. You're awesome. Must be evening time where you are. It's about 11 a.m. in the morning here. That is my short live for today. I hope you enjoyed that. And make sure you let me know in the comments any other comment. No questions. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Fantastic. All right. Hi. Awesome. That's it for today. And I will catch you in my next live. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye. How do I cancel this? How do I cancel this? Actually, how do I cancel this?